Chapter 2: The Law of Education. Leadership perspectives. Principals must follow all local, state, and federal laws. Most teachers also believe that board policies are law. This is not true. Policies are issues handled that involve the public. There are a large variety of policy actors in regards to education. Federal and state constitutional law. All laws and policies must follow the guidelines set forth by the U.S. Constitution. There are 4 amendments that have direct impact on education. These amendments are the 1st, 4th, 5th, and 14th. Each deals with specific precedents and expectations that help form the nation's beliefs. Federal law and state law. Federal law has no power in regards to education. As a means of influence, the federal system uses monetary spending laws to push an agenda or persuade actions. Money is offered or threatened to be withheld. The Civil Rights Acts, Title IX, Equal Education Opportunity Act, and No Child Left Behind are all federal laws that apply strongly to the education system and its function. Statutory law. These are laws that are created and passed in the legislative governing bodies or by either the federal government or state government. The U.S. Constitution is the only entity that overrides or restricts these laws. State law. States have the power to establish, monitor, and critique education. Education is defined within each state's constitution. With each state controlling their own education, all states have aligned very closely. Examples of these are: A. How many hours are involved in a school day? B. School licensure requirements. C. Who must attend school? State Board of Education. Local Board of Education. The State Board sets standardized rules and policies. The Chief State School Officers, CSSOs, are either appointed or elected official, is the person in charge of the State Board of Education. Regulations are created by educational branches within state and federal systems in order to understand, break down, and impose laws. Local Board of Education. The localized school board is in charge portraying the beliefs of the community within its actions. They are also in charge of monitoring budgetary constraints. The board also assumes the role of the overall district authority. The majority of board officials in the United States are elected officials. There is a movement in parts of the nation to make these assigned. The local school board falls under state board policies and the United States Constitution. The judicial system. Common law. This refers to previous court cases that are being used to establish a basis for using various law and policy making stances in regards to education. The court system has the right and abilities to find answers to problems using this technique. This type of law leads to unease and uncertainty at times by participating parties in the educational process. Most of these laws are in place and maintained as a known basis for legality. Criminal versus civil law. Criminal law is established using beyond a reasonable doubt as its foundation. In a civil case, it falls under the ideal that more evidence is leading to one decision over the other. Federal courts and U.S. Supreme Court. State courts. Most state cases involving education come to these courts. Most judges are elected by the people, organized very much like the federal court system. Federal courts. Laws are not made in these courts. Congress decides how many justices. Appointed by a president for a lifetime. Can be impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors. U.S. Supreme Court is made up of one Chief Justice and 8 justices. They are the final say in any legal matter. Writ of certiorari is plea for review by the Supreme Court based on the previous judgment of a lower court. One justice is appointed to determine their opinion in written form, and that is presented to the other members to be voted upon. Elements of a court decision. Number 1, what is the name of the case? Number 2, what are the facts involved in the case? Number 3, what is the legal issue at hand? Number 4, what is the path this case has taken to get to this court? Number 5, what is the court's verdict on the case? Number 6, why did this conclusion come about? Number 7, what will occur now that a decision is made? This is the action step in the process. Number 8, there are certain steps and positions individuals may be labeled as and are unable to be included as part of the ruling. Courts use citations to document and record cases. Example, Todd versus Rush County Schools, 133 F. 3rd, 984th, 7th Circuit, 1997. Certificate denied. There are multiple references that can be used in law research. Examples of these are the internet, legal associations, and blogs and newsletters.